Why Christianity is Abuse Labeled as Love, Part 3. So we've already established that God often sets up tests of faith for his servants, even when he knows that they're not going to pass them because he's all-knowing and all-powerful. Let's also talk about how he does this with Abraham and Isaac. God has Abraham and his wife Sarah leave their home of Ur, a very comfortable place that they were dwelling in, to go dwell in the wilderness. During this time, Sarah is barren and very much wants to have a child. They wait quite a while, 25 years, before they do have a son. They waited so long for a blessing, their son Isaac, to be born. So it comes as a surprise when later God asks Abraham to take Isaac to the top of a mountain and kill him as a sacrifice to God. And what does Abraham do? He actually is ready to follow through. I find it very weird that the God of the Bible needs so many human sacrifices, essentially blood rituals, to make him feel like his servants are obedient enough, honoring him enough, when he's the one who created us to be such lowly creatures. If Child Protective Services found out that you were planning to sacrifice your child in a blood ritual to your God, your child would be taken away from you. What is one of a parent's main duties to their children? It's to protect them. It doesn't matter from who or what, they are supposed to protect their child. So why is it that the most faithful servants in the Bible have to protect their children from God himself? God even sacrifices his own son eventually. So what does this say about this God? He's very jealous and insecure, and again, just has this very weird thirst for blood. Can you imagine being Isaac, being taken to the top of a mountain, your father not telling you what's happening, and then literally preparing you as a human sacrifice? I want you to think very deeply for a moment about the religious psychosis that has to go into that process. The amount of cognitive dissonance that would allow you to murder your own child because you think God wants you to. And what does it say about God to have changed his mind at the very last minute? Why is he essentially playing mind games with his servants? This is pretty much psychological warfare. Someone who is supposed to be the epitome of love would not behave this way. This is not love, it's abuse. Now let's talk about the treatment of the nation of Canaan. The Canaanites are spoken of in such a vile way that honestly it disgusts me to even talk about now. They are essentially pitted against the nation of Israel as God's sworn enemy, simply because they don't worship the God of the Bible. They had their own customs and way of living. It's now been established by historians that much of what is written about the nation of Canaan in the Bible was propaganda. God literally tells them to annihilate the Canaanites, along with Hittites, Amorites, and other nations around them. This is the original green light for colonization. Just a group of religious people who think that they are owed something because their God has supposedly told them, using their faith as an excuse to act disgusting, to enact violence against multitudes of people. And you mean to tell me that the God they worship is loving? Let's connect the dots a little more. The Canaanites are the ancestors to the modern-day Palestinians. And what do we see happening? A group of religious people claiming that they are owed the land because their God promised it to them some thousands of years ago. The road to colonization is paved through the promises found in these holy books. We are literally watching a modern-day genocide happen simply because people want to use their faith to enact violence, yet again. Is demonizing an entire nation of people just because they don't worship your God something loving? Absolutely not. Does it give you or your God a right to something that is not yours? Absolutely not. Can the violence of colonization coexist with something as deep and tender as love? Never.